and welcome to episode 5 of our Pokemon favourites from each type. These episodes are really pile on in... That's not worked. Can you start us off, please, Callum?
Go on then. So, my favourite electric type Pokemon is Magnezone. Bit of a recent addition, actually. I say recent, I kind of came around about Generation 5. I've always liked Magneton. I've used Magneton a little bit, but I preferred him after Generation 1 when he became a Steel type. I really like the sort of Steel type addition to it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, elephant in the room, yeah, he's double weak to ground.
And you'd think it'd get levitate as well.
It doesn't. Well, it does get...
an air balloon.
It gets air balloon. Well, yeah, it does that. That's not a bad idea, honestly. Stuff like Heatran runs that.
Yeah.
But also it gets Magnet Rise, which means it does get an ability if you can see it coming.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though, I very rarely run it with Magnet Rise.
You tend to use it as screens.
Yes, I do tend to use it as screens. Most recent generation, because I've built myself a doubles team, it's mostly just an all-out tank attacker in my most recent one. But I have used it as screens in the past. It has had screens on it as my most recent one.
It's worked well.
It works really well. Just if you... It's one of those standard Pokemon, like things like Gyarados that I mentioned a couple of episodes ago. Like, it's got double weaknesses, and I really like double weaknesses, as much as everyone's like, oh, it's a weakness, but you can predict where the opponent's going to go with it.
Yeah.
If I throw out a Magnezone and you switch immediately, I know exactly what you're going to do. So it's really easy to gain momentum and switch straight into something that can outright resist it, and then just take the battle on from there. If anything, having a double weakness is a blessing in disguise. You just gotta know how to harness it, and yeah, Magnezone, as well as the fact it's a great Pokemon anyway. Stellar special attack.
Yeah, he takes his own unique spin on a pretty big floor.
Yeah. I also like...
You like to nickname your Pokemon really serious things.
Yeah, because you always would go with really goofy nicknames.
I like goofy nicknames, like my Vileplume was called Petalgeist.
Yeah.
Well, my Dodrio is just Bob Jolie.
Yeah.
Which I think is a...
It's still a stellar nickname,
yeah.
Whereas my Magnezone, like I've had one called Sparky, and I've had one, my most recent one's called Shock Tank. It's kind of, I just take them really seriously for some reason. I just really like, I don't know.
What was your turn name called?
Wandrake.
Like, what the hell?
Such a stupid
That's
name.
such a 10-year-old thing to do.
Yeah, I know. But hey, cool. It worked for me.
To each their own. Why not?
Generation 7, I've actually running it with Z moves, and yeah, that one attack of ridiculously high power is really good. You can just smash in some opponent.
But is this your electric Z?
Well, yeah, I use both. I use both electric and steel Z. I think at the moment I've got Steelium Z on it.
Z.
And yeah, I just really dig it. It gets analytic as well.
Although there was a funny thing. I switched into a Palisand.
That's exactly why I've switched it.
Yeah. I've managed to work out a flaw in some Zeds, like some Zeds that are immune. That rules out Poison Z, Ground Z, Ghost Z, Fighting Z, Normal Z, Electric Z.
Yeah.
Amongst others as well.
If you have a
Dragon
counter
Z.
to it.
Dragon Z.
Even so, obviously a Z move, even if you resist it, can still deal significant damage. So sometimes you can still consider it not totally a wasted move if you switch into it, but not with something that's immune. It's not a good idea. It's really not a good idea. One thing I do like to run on them though is Volt Switch, because it's a slow Volt Switcher.
Volt Switch and U-Turn are two of my favourite moves in the Pokemon game.
But usually you run a U-turn on stuff that's quite fast, whereas it's a slow switcher, so you can purposefully tank a move, switch into something else that obviously can deal with the situation better, but isn't coming directly into a hit.
You give it a rocky helmet in that respect.
Yeah, honestly, it's such a versatile Pokemon. It's Magnezone. I love it.
Yeah, never one to underestimate is Magnezone.
To clarify, I'm not a fan of Pokemon just being multiples of the same Pokemon adding together and then calling them evolution. And let's be honest, like there's some really lazy designs with those, and Magneton is guilty of that. But
Dodrio's guilty of it.
well, Dojo is guilty of it, but they do something with it. They add more design flair to it, whereas Magneton, it's just 3 Magnemites. It makes sense that because they're magnets, but it's just 3 Magnemites. It's not another Pokemon.
I'd quite like to see a Mega Dodrio with 5 heads and Skill Link.
That'd be super brutal. Magnezone, they incorporate it into the design. Like it's still got 3 heads, but it's the eyes are all into one body, and it's
a spaceship. It's a really good design.
Yeah, it's a really cool. I really like Magnezone. Personal favourite.
Yeah,
I love it.
So remember when I said that Jolteon was my favourite evolution?
Yes.
Even though it was superseded by another electric type.
Yeah.
Well, that's still correct.
Yeah.
So my favourite electric type. Well, statistically speaking, electric types tend to be somewhat frail, but they make up for it by having, no pun intended, lightning fast speed. My favourite electric type's the exact opposite of that. So this is the sheep that suffers from full-bodied alopecia for some odd reason. This is Ampharos. Ampharos I first used in Heart Gold and loved it immediately. Tanky electric types are quite niche.
Well, because they've not got much in terms of resistances, but they've not got much in terms of weaknesses either. They've got one weakness, so
ground.
It makes it really, really easy. It's like I was saying earlier, man. It makes it really easy to see what the opponent's going to do.
Yeah.
And I know there's something special about Ampharos' design. I really like it.
Yeah, it's derpy, but it's really cute.
Yeah, well, I really like Mareep. Fluffy's I'm a little bit lukewarm on, but yeah, I do like Ampharos as well. The one where you save the sick Ampharos in the lighthouse is super adorable.
I know, it's a good moment, is that. But Ampharos, it's surprisingly utilitarian. It gets Cotton Guard.
Yes!
So you can buff its defences up.
Yeah.
And
tank
so much.
Yeah. Very good move. Very good move.
Rain Dance Thunder works well because you can use a Rain Dance and sort of thunder everything whilst tanking a hit from Rain Dance.
Yeah.
And then it gets possibly the most useful move out of it all, Signal Beam.
Yeah, a weird dark horse move is that one. But yeah, it does cover quite a lot of...
Well, it covers one of its main problems, which is grass types, because grass obviously resists electric. Signal Beam is super effective against it.
There was this period of quite a lot of psychic leads in main metagames, and yeah, having something just in the back pocket that could just like a bug move out there. Doesn't it get what's that? Rock Gem, something like that.
Power Gem.
Power Gem. Yeah.
I've never used Power Gem on it. I've never needed to use it.
I've fought against Ampharos with Power Gem before. It's a bit of a pain. Honestly, very, very wide move pool.
Well, it hits fire, flying, and other types as well. Ice. Yeah.
It's just really good. Obviously, there's no need for flying because it's already an electric type.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, 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 very good. For me personally, it's not got enough defense. It's got special attack for days, but
it's got health for days, and it's got really good special defense. But then again, Cotton Guard.
Well, it does get Cotton Guard. Yeah, I think Cotton Guard does make up for its flaws defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think it's one of those. It would make quite a good assault vest again, I think, as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're cotton guard and an assault vest. I mean,
Well,
without
you can't
this...
use assault vest with cotton guard.
Oh, can you not?
No, you can only use assault vest with attacking moves.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Baton pass with it.
I'm not sure.
Because being able to baton pass cotton guards would be quite funny.
That'd be quite interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, big fan of quite a lot of electric types. We'll go into some honourable mentions in a second.
Jolteon will be mine. Yours would be...
Well, mine is... I really like Manectric. I use Manectric quite a lot in Emerald. I do like Jolteon. I used to do it at Jolteon as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, electric types, I kind of stay away from them. I've got no real ones that I really, really like.
Electros was interesting.
Yeah, because that was a very niche thing. Didn't you find it was a bit too slow for your liking?
A bit slow, and I might well have raised it wrong.
What did you do?
Neutral.
Well, neutral's not a terrible idea because it's got mixed stats, but you're probably best to focus on something with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite frail, which means its entire gimmick of not having any weaknesses is kind of wasted a little bit because you can still take it out with a well-placed stab. But, okay, bring it up. I do quite like Raichu.
Raichu, yeah.
I despise Pikachu, but I quite like Raichu.
Yeah.
And I have used Raichu a couple of times, and yeah, I really like it. It's outclassed nowadays, but I like one of my first. I learned how to breed Pokemon by getting a Pichu with Volt Tackle.
Yeah.
Because I googled how to do it, and I was really proud because I created this thing. I'd got this cool secret move on it by doing. It was really cool. I really had a good journey with it. So. You mentioned something quite funny earlier, because obviously you mentioned that electric types are usually quite speedy. I think pretty much every single electric type we just mentioned is quite fast.
Yeah.
Both of us have chosen slow electric types.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting one.
Who is the slowerest? Ooh, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, Magnezone is quicker by 5. A massive 5!
Weirdly enough, it's one of those cases, Magneton is faster than Magnezone. when it evolves, it gets slower, which is super strange, but obviously I prefer Magnezone anyway. Yes. Can use Eevee on it though, that's pretty good. I think it basically just comes down to who's got the most health,
yeah, who's got the most health.
Type coverage, and who's got the most damage. I think it comes down to pure stats with this one. So what move would you use against Magnezone?
You know what, you could be really cruel with
Why?
it and give Ampharos, if you're lucky enough, hidden pound round.
I'm not going to dispute it, you could do.
You could do,
HP
yeah.
ground would, but bearing in mind they took a nerf in more recent games, so HP ground is only base 60 now.
Base 60, yeah.
Um,
I mean, I always put Signal Beam on my Ampharos, which is not useful. It's
not in this scenario now.
No.
Resist
Thunder would hit well.
Doesn't it? Resist.
It does resist, but then again, Ampharos
Is-
resists both electric and steel.
Does Ampharos resist steel?
Electric is steel, yeah.
Really? Magnezone, in terms of actual damage type coverage, doesn't really get very much. It does quite a lot of utility well in terms of support, but it doesn't do much in terms of damage.
Yeah.
My initial thoughts were that Magnezone could tank the world, but if you get HP ground, I don't really have much against you. I think I've got the better special attack stat.
You have, yeah. I mean, the special defences are exactly the same. Magnezone's special attack is higher.
Yeah.
Ampharos, however, has more HP.
Yes. Okay.
This is a long battle between Magnezone and Ampharos.
I think we're going to out-tank each other. I don't know who's going to win with this one. I think Ampharos is going to win just because you're right, HP ground is on there. You could argue you could give Magnezone HP ground.
Yes, but Ampharos is only 2 times weak, whereas
Magnezone is 4. So it does it less service. It would be whether a stab move would be better than a... I still think super effective beats a resisted stab though, so...
And Signal Beam has a chance of confusion as well.
It does, but I wouldn't really... I mean, you could do.
It's possible.
It's possible. How big's the chance? Like 30%?
It's either 10, 20 or 30.
Confusion, well, I wouldn't really take confusion into account just because...
I mean,
it's
Magnezone's defense is too high for accepted properly.
It's a defensive... A, it's defensive. B, it's resisted. C is a 20% chance of it hitting. D, it's 50% chance of the confusion working on top of the fact that it's a 20% chance of getting inflicted in the first place.
Yeah.
So you'd have to get quite lucky, I'd say.
So let's rule that out. Are we giving the edge to Ampharos then?
I'm going to give the edge to Ampharos, but I would like to see a damage calculator if that's alright. Okay. Yeah.
Ampharos has a very small chance at 1-hit KOing Magnezone.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be Ampharos. And that sums up the electric episode. That was a slightly shocking result.
I appreciate the pun, but also it actually was.
The next episode will be soaring into the great heights of the flying types.
You were winging that joke.
I don't know what. Stay tuned, and we shall see you soon.
Stay with the pecking order.
Indeed. These episodes are really pile on in... That's not worked.
Ooh.
That did not quite work as I hoped. So
A blooper.
It'll do, yeah.
can you start us off, please, Callum?
Start you off with a... Okay. These internet videos are free, which is a good thing, because I don't really like to charge.
Yeah! I did mean with your favourite electric type Pokemon.
Alright, okay. Was that a levitate joke, or...?
No, I was just pointing out that you...
Yeah.
yeah, that was a floor levitating, well done.
Z moves. For anyone who's not Brickles.
This is Ampharos. Magnezone versus... Who's the other one? Ampharos.
Wow, you just forgot your own choice.
Well...
It's a tank versus a sheep. I feel like the sheep would win, right? Fight!
Extremely quick. This has been a long episode. Oh!
Woohoo! Definitely Ampharos.